All right, let's get right into it. Something big is brewing in the Pi network, and it's got everyone talking. A platform called PiBridge has launched a new staking program, and, well, it comes with a pretty massive promise. Let's dive in and see what it's all about.
18%. I mean, just look at that number. In today's crypto market, a return like that is definitely going to turn some heads. It's a really bold claim, and it's happening right now inside the Pi ecosystem.
And this is the tagline they're using, straight from the PiBridge platform itself. The concept here is pretty simple, right? Take the PiCoin you've been mining and holding and put it to work. Let it earn passive income for you. No trading required.
But this brings us to the 18% question, doesn't it? An APY this high sounds amazing, but as anyone who's been in crypto for a minute knows, big rewards often come with big risks. So what's the real story here? Is this the next big thing, or is there a catch we need to know about? Let's find out.
Okay, first things first, let's unpack this 18% promise. This is all about a new way to earn with your PiCoin. So how exactly does this all work? How are they turning PiCoin into passive income? Let's break down the mechanics. Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. It's not just one flat rate. There's a two-tiered system. You can stake your regular PiCoin and get a pretty respectable 9 to 12% APY. But if you want to unlock that headline-grabbing 18%, you need to stake PiBridge's own token, which is called $PiB. This is a pretty classic crypto play, you know? It creates built-in demand for the platform's own token. And they've tried to make the whole process as simple as possible. The goal seems to be getting more people into DeFi without all the usual complexity. Instead of a bunch of confusing steps, it's basically just a 3-step lock and earn system where your rewards just show up automatically every day. But who is actually making this promise? I mean, who is PiBridge? Let's pull back the curtain and take a closer look at the platform itself. So, PiBridge describes itself as a hybrid platform. It's part decentralized exchange, or DEX, and part centralized, or CEX. But the most important function is right there in the name. It's a bridge. Its core mission is to connect the Pi network, which has been pretty isolated, to other major blockchains like Ethereum or the BNB chain. And staking, that's just the front door. The platform's ambitions are way bigger. They're planning a whole suite of financial services. We're talking lending, an NFT marketplace, even their own launchpad for new projects. This isn't just one feature. They're trying to become the main financial hub for the entire Pi ecosystem, which of course leads us to the most important part of this whole discussion. We've seen the rewards, now we have to talk about the risks. Let's take a balanced look. This slide really lays out the trade-off perfectly. The pros are obvious, right? Passive income, it's simple, and it helps the network. But the cons, they're very real, and they're the usual suspects in DeFi. Smart contracts can have bugs that get exploited. Low liquidity can mean you can't get your funds out when you want to. And of course, the price of the tokens themselves could tank, which would completely erase any yield you earned. And interestingly, PiBridge itself adds this little note of caution. They warn that these staking pools have a limited capacity. Now, this does two things. It rewards early adopters, sure, but it also creates a sense of urgency, a classic FOMO, or fear of missing out tactic. The message here is pretty clear. Think carefully, don't just rush in. So to try and calm some of those fears, PiBridge says it has some safety nets in place. These are pretty standard things you'd want to see in DeFi. They've had third-party audits on their code, they have an emergency pause button, kind of like an emergency brake, and they have reserve funds set aside to hopefully cover losses if something bad happens. It's all about trying to build trust with users. Okay, now let's zoom out. Because this staking program didn't just happen in a vacuum. It's actually part of a much bigger story that was unfolding for the Pi network. You can really see the momentum building on this timeline. In just 1 month, the network rolled out better security, sped up its huge mainnet migration, and then launched this high-yield staking. You add in the rumors of a new payment system, and a clear picture emerges. This is an ecosystem hitting the accelerator and trying to mature fast. And here's a really key detail from that mainnet migration. There's a mandatory 14-day holding period for tokens. So why do that? Well, it's a strategic move to prevent a massive sell-off that could just crash the price right out of the gate. It's all about trying to create some stability. And this quote from one of the articles we looked at really sums up the whole strategy perfectly. It's about changing what PiCoin is, moving it away from just being a speculative token to something that actually generates real, sustainable income for the people who hold.
So after all that, what's the takeaway? Well, PiBridge is offering a really compelling yield, but it's wrapped up with all the standard risks of DeFi. And this is all happening while the Pi network is making a major push for mainstream relevance. It leaves us with the ultimate question: is this the moment? Is this the step that finally transforms PiCoin from a long-running vision into a real-world asset with actual utility? As always in the world of crypto, I guess only time will tell. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.